China throughout the history has been known for the rise and fall of dynasties as far back as 1700 BC with the Shang dynasty. Those early dynasties became successful through their written language, technology, art, and their number of people. They have real and mythological origins. All historical accounts of dynasties are political. The Chinese name for their country, Zhangqiao, meaning Central Kingdom. The dynastic system falls in 1911 because it couldn't adjust to working with the West.
Confucian ideals are that each person had a specific duty that they cannot move out of, such as a ruler was a ruler and a subject was a subject. They believed that internalized moral guidance is more important than written law. Confucian classics were upheld as the highest form of education.
China is the fourth largest country. Its people are naturally isolated by mountains, rivers, and deserts. Some of these natural features are the Yellow River, Tibetan Plateau, and Gobi Desert.
The 100 Flowers campaign started in May of 1956. Mao encouraged greater freedom of thought and speech. When Chinese citizens came back with negative responses, the government didn't expect the criticism and became more strict of the freedom of speech.
During this time, economic prosperity was more important than focusing on socialism. The family unit began to be destroyed as communal farming began. Part of communal farming was the creation of backyard furnaces, which resulted in the production of pig iron.
The government encourages criticism of anything foreign. They are also regimented. There are not enough schools and they have high fees. During Mao's reign, they were taught to parrot short texts that had been memorized rather than analyzed. They were considered a lost generation.
One-child policy was introduced in 1979. Many Chinese families have been forced to have abortions. There has been an increase in the elderly population. By 2040, 25% of the population will be elderly. Boys outnumber girls 122 to 100. This policy wasn't meant to last forever, but no changes have been made.
The 5 recognized religions in China are Taoism, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Uyghurs are of the Muslim faith. Their religious leaders had to go through training to prove patriotism and were pressured to give up their religion. The Buddhist leader, the Dalai Lama, was forced into exile.
Property land grabs are when the government allows for officials to say they need communal land for industrial or urban growth. This has affected 27% of farming families. In 1978, Chinese people didn't own land, but they were responsible for it, meaning they couldn't sell or retain their own land.
85% of Chinese people live in low standard living. Many peasant farmers feel that they can get better jobs in the city that are very dangerous, such as sniffing plastic and sorting through hazardous waste.
It is thought that China's economy is growing too fast. This is seen in the facts shown on the screen.
China is not the first imitator, but the first imitator with capability. One company in China, the Kingsoft Corporation, had a prospective sale base of 60 million Chinese PCs. Unfortunately, 90% of the copies were pirated. If China wants to keep its economic standing, they need to address this problem.
Ai Weiwei is an artist who became famous for the use of social media and art to speak out against the government. This has sparked a trend among the Chinese people. Those that have spoken out against the government are under constant surveillance. Recently, Ai Weiwei went missing.
In China, the government blocks Western and anti-CCP sites. The people use routers to gather on external websites such as Facebook and Twitter. They are able to anonymously publish and avoid punishment.
Tiananmen Square in 1989 is known to be the largest rebellion in Chinese history. It was led by students who were seeking reform and wanted democracy. The government attacked strikers and killed hundreds of people.
Nail houses are a creative way that people are protesting land grabs and excessive development. One farmer protected his land with a homemade rocket that he fired at government officials.
China will come close to becoming a world superpower, but now we understand that these problems, if unresolved, will hold China back.
These problems include a lack of citizen support, restricted human rights, lack of unity, corruption in the economy with pirated goods, and constant rebellion as our examples highlight.
China will not become the next superpower.